What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bullish Buzz. Today I have another big breakdown on silver. Now I want to make this a quicker breakdown on silver, going over more of price action, as in the past I have gone over my collection, my physical holdings within silver, and all of that stuff in between. But in today's video, I want to talk about the possibility that we are in a short squeeze for silver and that this could go much, much higher. Now, of course, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. But in this video, I will be talking about the extreme points for silver, where we could be heading, and why we will be heading there. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video and check out silver. Now, first of all, I do want to talk about a few points that I see from silver bears, because I think that's very, very important to understand the opposing side. So taking a look here, you guys can see we have a lot of bears that come in and say, oh, we're going to have a scenario like back in 11 and back in the 70s. But what actually happened here is a lot different than what is happening today. Back here, we had the Hunt brothers going crazy with their silver. They had to default. Back here, we had banks going crazy with silver. They had to default. But over here, we are at a point where we are using so much silver for our AI infrastructures, for our phones, for EVs, and for so many other things. Once again, we used to use a little bit under 100 million tons of silver a year. Now we are using over 500 million and counting a year. Next year, that is realistically going to be 550 to 600, then 650 to 700. We don't know when this is going to slow down, but overall, we do know that silver is a supply and demand commodity. There is not going to be any more silver ever. You can't just poof, make more silver. It's not like money. You can't, it's not like the dollar. It's not going to depreciate. This is a appreciating asset for a reason. There is never going to be any more of it. This can really start to run for that reason. It's much like gold. Gold went on an insane rally just last year because there is no more gold to be put on this earth. You can't put any more gold than what is here. And people are slowly starting to realize that. And really smart money is starting to realize that. And that is why it is important to get in now. Now, you guys know this is the position that we took on silver. You guys remember that we got in around $50 an ounce. And now we're up over $80 an ounce. Now, I do want to remind you guys that I'm filming this on December 28th, so I do believe that market is going to open tomorrow, and I seriously believe that we can see $82 to $85 an ounce tomorrow. I'm posting this video on Monday the 29th, so you guys will be able to go back and see if I was correct or not. But overall, I do believe that tomorrow is going to be a great day for silver, and I do believe that we will eclipse $80 an ounce, which is insane to say. And so now we get to talk about some insane price targets. Now, in my opinion, I really do believe that silver can squeeze over $100 an ounce. I really do. And I really don't think that we need much of a pullback. Obviously, this is a very insanely unhealthy chart, as we have just been working our way up. But until we do come up on some resistance, it's going to keep going this way. So overall, we will definitely continue to keep rallying up. I don't know where that's going to stop. It could be 86.95. It could be all the way up at this 93 level. Could be all the way up at this $100 level. It could go into the 120s, the 150s in just a few months. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, I still believe that silver is a great commodity to look forward to in the future. We all know that China came out last week and said they're going to stop a lot of their imports coming into the US for silver and going out of China in general. That is going to be a large driver for our supply and demand. That means that more people are going to be looking to buy up this silver as quickly as possible before these go into effect. This is obviously going to be in a form of, they're trying to cut their supply so they can have more. And obviously people are going to be buying up more so that they can have more, because they're not going to be able to get more. So it is a very, very simple idea. And overall, I think this is really going to work out. As we know, China, I'm sorry, is one of the larger distributors of silver across the world. So when you basically cut off one of the larger distributors, and I know they're not going to stop distributing, but they are cutting back on it, that is a big deal. I'm pretty sure they export over 500 million tons of silver a year. Once again, we talked about them mining and using over 500 million across the world. So if we're able to cut out basically what the world's using in a yearly supply in distributations, that's a big deal. So we could definitely see the price really start to squeeze from here. As you guys can remember, last Friday, the price was up 10.47%. So that was absolutely insane to see that we actually rallied that high. I haven't seen a move like that on silver ever. And really going back to see any candles prior, there was no candle like this. That was up almost 11%. But once again, let's talk about our price targets here. We want to move up to around $100. That's up 99% from our entry. That's pretty wicked. And then all the way up to 125. That's another 150%. And then 200% pretty much up to 150, as our average price is very, very clean at around $50. Overall, I think silver is an insane commodity to be owning right now. And I do believe that we can really start to rally. If you guys look at it this way, we broke out of this. We broke out of a 50-year, what is this? Back in 78. So 50 to 60-year trend where we could now just start be breaking out to the upside. This could be insane. This could really be, the move that takes silver to a ratio on gold that's, 20. We could see silver really go to, 2 to 3 to $400 over the next couple of years. Of course, that is a highly speculative thing to say. That is why I said this is not financial research. And I'm not telling you guys that this is really my opinion, but I'm saying that this is a possibility. With the way that things are moving, with how much we are using of silver, with the way that people are starting to stack their silver, there is a lot of things that are pointing a lot higher for silver. Although that this has been an insane rally, and you guys can see, look at this monthly candle. My God, this month alone we gained 40%. Past 2 months, 67%. Past 4 months, 92%. We have been absolutely killing it. Silver's up almost 170% year to date. So it has been an insane rally. But overall, I do not think that we are done. I think silver does go much higher, and I am here for the long haul. You guys know I own a bunch of silver. I don't want to talk about that too much in today's video, but I do own a little bit over 50 ounces of silver, so I am a very happy man watching silver continue to climb. And I do want to see silver do eclipse $85 by the next week, and hopefully over $100 before the end of Q1 2025. I really do believe that we are headed that direction, and I do believe that we're heading that direction very fast. So this was my breakdown on silver. Let's go ahead and quickly recap what we have talked about. Now, as always, thank you guys if you did watch until the end, but overall, we do know that silver is looking amazing. It's up 170% this year. It looks great. We are seeing, they are cutting their exports from China, and that is going to drive a lot of demand for silver. And with the supply dwindling down, we are obviously going to see prices increase. It is a simple supply and demand equation. We all learned this in fourth, fifth, sixth grade, where, hey, if someone wants something and there isn't a lot of it and a lot of people want it, that thing is going to be quite expensive. Okay. Inversely, if we had a crap ton of it and nobody wanted it, we'd be selling it for pennies. But that's not the way it is. Okay. There is a finite amount of silver. There will never be any more silver. And there is a unlimited amount of demand. Your grandma could all of a sudden say, "Oh, I want to buy some silver." My 2-year-old niece could all of a sudden say, "I want to buy more silver." You see what I'm saying? So overall, we could see a lot higher demand, but the supply is never really going to change. We're unless for if we, somehow stumble upon a deposit of 20 trillion thousand million tons of silver, this really is not going to change the equation. Same for gold. I mean, these things can technically indefinitely go up. There's no financials that run the back of these. There's nothing like that. There's no business behind this. So you don't have to worry about, oh, their financials are going to slip, oh, quarter over quarter, their growth isn't that good. That doesn't matter. That simply does not matter at all. It's not even a thing. So looking at silver going off of supply and demand, we can see that the supply is insane. There's people waiting outside of bullions right now trying to buy. We have bullions that don't even have enough silver to sell when we are at all-time highs. If anything, you would think it's inversely. Oh, we're at all-time highs. People are trying to, offload their silver because they made a great return. No. People are starting to get into silver because they understand what silver's doing right now and why it's doing it. This is not like the 70s and the 2000s when, silver was rallying just because of these defaults and the Hunt brothers and all that kind of, hoopla to be frank. Okay, this is an actual infrastructure, there's data behind the reasoning of why we're using silver, why we're going to continue to use silver, why we're using so much, and why we might use even more in the future. So this is a very interesting topic to cover. I love talking about silver. It's very interesting to me, and it really does hit home as I am an investor in silver. And so I'm very interested in what we are going to see from silver. Once again, I'm filming this on Sunday, so I hope that tomorrow is bullish. I do believe that we are going to see over $82 to $85 an ounce. So let me know, did we hit that? Was I right or was I wrong? I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. But overall, thank you guys again for watching this video. Make sure you guys do check out the first link in our description down below and join up on our Discord. We have over 4,000 members. We've been killing it. And you guys know we're going to start 2026 hot with that $1,000 to $5,000 challenge. So join up today. Do not miss out on that. Check out the video on each side of me here, and I will see y'all in the next video.